Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Aslan, and this is episode 3 of Spell Basketball. This is going to be the recap from Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. All right. Sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. Had a little something happen with my eye, but God is faithful, and I'm healed, and it's getting better. So. But we are going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to talk about Game 2. All right, so Game 2, man, it was a little, how do I put this? It was different, okay? Denver, started off very slow. Miami came back. Denver took the control. Miami came back, and it was a game. It was a really good game, to say the least. And so, we're going to go over the stats, first of all, and we're going to talk about also, again, what each team needs to do moving forward. I do think Miami played a very good game. I thought they played Miami Heat basketball. There are some things that I noticed with Denver that they can do better. There are certain people that need to get going, and so we're going to talk about that today on this show, all right? So, with the stats, we'll start with the Miami Heat first, okay? So, Miami Heat. We had Jimmy Butler with 21 points. He had 4 rebounds and 9 assists, okay? Bam Adebayo, who is playing very well, if I might add, had 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Now, this is where Denver got in trouble, okay? Max Strus, 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. Max Strus came out on fire, okay? After going 0 for 7 in the previous game, in Game 1, Max Strus let everybody know that, yeah, I could still shoot this thing, okay? Also, Gabe Vincent was the leading scorer for Miami with 23 points and 3 assists. Duncan Robinson erupted in that third quarter. I think he went on an 8-0 run by himself, but he had 10 points but he, in that third quarter, he just went on a spree, just caught on fire and brought Miami back into the game and ultimately helped them take the lead. So, the Nuggets, okay? Or was it the third quarter or the fourth quarter? It might have been the fourth quarter. I'm sorry. I think it was the beginning of the fourth quarter because Denver was up going into the fourth quarter. So, yeah, my bad. The fourth quarter is when Duncan Robinson got going and just went on a tear. For the Nuggets, Jokic had an amazing game. He had 41 points, he had 11 rebounds, and he had 4 assists. That's a little low for Jokic on that side with the assists, but 41 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Jamal Murray, 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists. Aaron Gordon, 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now, this is where it has to get better. Michael Porter Jr., with 5 points and 6 rebounds, okay? And then Bruce Brown coming off the bench had 11 points. So with the discrepancy here, I'm looking at the stats of both teams, the complete stats, and Denver actually shot a better field goal percentage than Miami did. So Denver shot 52% from the field goal, where Miami shot a 48% from the free throw, or from the field goals. Now, Miami also shot 90% from the free throw line. There was a major talk about the foul count in Game 1 where Miami had 2 free throws and Denver shot 20. And so the free throw count was definitely even this time. But Miami shot 90% from the free throw line and Denver shot 86.4 from the free throw line. Also, total rebounds. Now, this is what I was very surprised about, that Denver actually out-rebounded Miami in this game, because in that fourth quarter, it just didn't seem like Denver could get a rebound to save their lives. But Denver out-rebounded Miami 38-31. The assists, Miami had more assists than Denver did. So Miami had 28 assists to Denver's 23. Denver had more turnovers than Miami did, with 13-11. And then this is the other thing. Now, usually with this stat, results in a win. But Denver had 48 points in the paint, whereas Miami had 34 points in the paint. But when it comes to the 3-point, this is it right here. Denver shot 39.3% from three, shooting on a clip of making 11 threes out of 28, whereas Miami shot 48.6% from three, making 17 of 35. Again, the score was 111 to 108, favoring Miami, and that's it right there. I think a couple of turnovers, they were kind of even, but Miami definitely shot the ball at almost 50% in the game. So that's it right there. So what each team needs to do. One thing that I have realized a lot in these playoffs, watching the Eastern Conference Finals, watching just the whole playoffs in general, Miami has been, in my opinion, and honestly, statistically, the best fourth quarter team in these playoffs. And so moving forward, Denver has to understand that and has to make adjustments. Even in game one, Miami still outscored Denver in the fourth quarter. Also, in Monday's game or Sunday's game, 36-25. And so Denver has to understand that Miami is a fourth quarter team, that they're getting their best ball. They're playing hard in the fourth quarter when it matters. And so what Denver also needs to do is, I wrote this down, they have to clamp down on the three. Now, Denver got, I don't like saying lucky, but Denver was very blessed that Miami shot as bad as they did in that first game, even though they still shot better from the 3-point percentage than Denver. Denver was glad. However, we knew that that wasn't going to last long. As we saw, Strus came out, hit 4 threes in the first half. Gabe Vincent knocked down some threes. Duncan Robinson knocked down his threes. Caleb Martin has yet to really be a factor offensively yet in the series, but that's another person who could potentially get off from the 3-point line. And so what Denver needs to do is clamp down on the threes. I have believed this whole entire time. I don't think Denver needs to double team anybody or double team Bam or double team Jimmy or anything like that. I think they could match up with Miami one-on-one. I think the defense definitely has to get better on the pick and roll game, because also Bam has just been playing extremely well. He's hitting his shots, he's hitting his mid-range, which we didn't really see in that series against the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But Bam has been consistent. He's rolling, he's cutting. Duncan Robinson cutting to the hole. They're finding the wide open players also. I was saying in the last show that I thought Miami needed to insert Kevin Love. They did that. And so that was a factor that was able to give Miami a little bit more height to start the game off with. And again, Miami started the game off. It was 21-10 at one point in the first quarter. And so moving forward, I think Kevin Love is definitely going to continue to be a major asset as far as Miami trying to get this championship. But the other thing that Denver needs to do, they've got to get Michael Porter Jr. going, and they've got to get Jamal Murray some more shots. So Jamal Murray shot 7 of 15 in this last game. Jamal Murray's averaging about 20 shots a game. And so with that, you have to get Jamal Murray some more shots. Now, I can credit that to just the defense that Miami was playing on Jamal Murray and the defensive scheme that Spoelstra came up with. And, you know, he's a genius. He's a mastermind when it comes to coaching and coming up with schemes and game plans for the game. But Jamal Murray's got to get up some more shots. Michael Porter Jr., 2 of 8. Got to get up some more shots. He has to shoot the ball more, and I think they're really challenging Michael Porter to really shoot the ball or to score, to see if he's actually going to do it. But we got to give Porter more shots. We got to give Murray more shots in the next game. Again, Joker had an amazing game, but 4 assists is just very un-Joker-like. And so we have got to get the ball moving more. If you see some of the biggest games that Jokic has had in these playoffs, the 53-point game he had against Phoenix and the 41-point game he's had against Miami Heat in these finals, they have come in losses. So understanding that, yes, Jokic is good. He can drop the numbers, but we got to get the team involved more and more. And so, again, we got to clamp down on the on the 3-pointers and the 3-point shooters for Miami. We got to guard the pick and roll better. I think that has been a major. It's just been a major problem for Denver, especially in Game 2. Also, again, Murray and Porter, they have to shoot more. Jokic needs to pass the ball more. And then, again, clamp down on Bam a little bit better. We need to put a little bit more pressure on him, make him work harder to score, and instead of just giving him those mid-ranges, because he's proven in this series that he's going to knock it down. For Miami, on the other hand, with Miami, I thought Miami played Miami Heat basketball. I really did. I thought they did well. They do what they do, where they stick around, long enough to where they can take control in the fourth quarter. And so I think where Miami gets in trouble is if they go down big early. You saw in the Eastern Conference Finals when Miami went down big, they never came back from the deficit to, beat Boston. But with this series, they've just remained close. And in Game 1, Denver went up by 24 at one point, but they couldn't come back. And so Denver has to press that issue of getting out early, getting started early, and then maintaining the lead so that when the fourth quarter does come and you do get outscored, it's not enough to come back to win the game. But Miami is tough. They are a very tough team. They're hungry. They're well in sync with each other. And so I thought they played Miami Heat basketball, and they did what they needed to do. They knocked down their shots. They got the stops that they needed. And ultimately, it came out to be a win. I think the other thing, I think Butler needs to get up more shots. I think Butler needs to take a little bit more shots. I think he has, he's kind of passed up some shots, or he's looking for everybody else, which, last game it worked. But in Game 1, I didn't think he got up enough shots in order to, keep his team close. So I think Butler needs to shoot the ball a little bit more in order to keep Miami's rhythm going. Because if they have another night like, Game 1, then they're going to be in trouble. I also think that in the defensive scheme, what I noticed was, and I know Spoelstra, and he was correct in saying that you don't just scheme for a player to score. Like, at the end of the day, you can let somebody sit there and shoot all they want to and then try to get everybody else out, but they still have to knock down the shots. And that's just, attesting to Nikola Jokic's greatness in knowing that he can't score the ball and that he's unstoppable when it comes to that. But what I did notice is that they were still trying to get the other players out of the game or keep them out of the game. So again, Porter with 5 points on 2 of 8 shooting, he has to be involved. So keeping him out of the loop, because when Porter gets going, he gets going, like he catches fire. And so keeping Murray. Murray had about, I think it was 13 points to like the last 2 minutes of the game when he hit a layup and a 3 to bring the Nuggets within 3 points. But he has to get up. So, the defensive scheme that they created to keep the other players out and, just keep them, from having an imprint on the game, I thought that was genius. And so continue to attack the other players, I think, is what Miami needs to do. Continue to focus on every player that's on the court at the moment, because even KCP, when he gets going, he can heat up just as much. And so continuing to attack the other players and live with that. And then the last thing I think Miami needs to do is just let Spo be Spo. He's just watching. I've always known he's a great coach, but just watching him in these playoffs, I'm just like, wow, like his greatness is just on a different level when it comes to coaching. So allow him to continue to coach and allow him to the players continuing to listen and follow his lead, because he's very capable and he's proven, So I think that's what needs to happen moving forward with this game. And Game 3, my prediction, I always got to go with my predictions. And so I was wrong last game, but I think I'm going to take Denver in Game 3. And I believe that Michael Malone will have them ready to make the adjustments that need to be made. And then I think Denver also losing their first game at home kind of sparked a little fire under their butts. So I believe that they'll come back and that they'll be extremely ready for this next game. I believe that Jamal Murray will have a more of an imprint on this game, and I'm hoping Michael Porter does. And so I think moving forward, the X factor in Game 3 is going to be Michael Porter for the Nuggets. And for the Miami Heat, I still think Kevin Love is a major X factor. So both teams are playing well. They're playing hard. It's been a good finals already, just 2 games in. But that's it. You know, that's the recap of Game 2, and Game 3. I'm looking forward to it. So if y'all have not subscribed, go ahead and hit the bell. Subscribe to this channel, Spell Basketball. As always, I'm so blessed to be here. I'll be back full health soon, you know, with my eye and everything. And so, but God is faithful, and I will continue to lean on His word. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this, and I will see y'all on Thursday after Game 3 for the recap of Game 3 and for the predictions of Game 4. I love y'all. We're going to do this, and this is Aslan Williams with the stats, the facts, and all that. Y'all have a blessed day.